I cannot vote for this out of principle. It's not personal, it's business. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wheeler, you got discussion.
With respect to Resolution 2025-14,
Speak up.
we want to be fair. There was a gentleman who just stood up today stating that he did make mention of interest in the property. I don't know if in the past that we've always paid attention to every property that someone owns within the city. I'm considering the young lady's remarks as well. And as I peruse through her application, this was prepared June 21st, 2013. So, again, my question may be similar to Councilman Martin's question, is that why is it so much of a delay between time frame? I know that they said that the NAC kind of holds things up, but that's a whole year almost gone by before her legislation similar to 25-14 makes it to City Council. Despite, convening, we had to convene an NAC meeting or whatnot. It could have been convened 6 months ago, 7 months ago. Any property that we can purchase within the city can be purchased. We transact business, am I correct? It doesn't take a year and 2 years to buy anything. No, it does not. I'm going to be honest. It creates useless conversation when we delay things like that, and then now we're placed in this type of predicament. And now, there's judgment from this corner, and then now there's judgment from that corner. I asked particularly months ago for an opinion rendered from an higher office from Columbus. I received an opinion referencing the city of Parma. Parma does not govern East Cleveland.
Hello.
So the document that I had was case law or some type of reference as past practice that happened in the city of Parma, not the city of East Cleveland. And I was respectful enough to just ask. I said, all I need is something from someone saying that this is okay, no matter if you were a councilman 20 years ago and or you were a resident 20 years ago. It doesn't matter. Right now, you're a council person. And that's what's on the table. I'm not worried about what I feel about you. I'm worried about, what it is that you want. I'm worried about the ethics of what we're doing. It's not about whether or not he can have it. He can have it if he wants it. I mean, I don't have a problem with that particularly, but I do have a problem that you were entitled in the given.
I don't think I say much, but I can tell you this much. In some of the processes in the city, we've been doing it wrong for so long, we think it's right. And when we go do something right now, we think it's wrong. We got to turn it around. This young man, I met him on the campaign trail. I didn't know him prior to the election, but when I went and looked at his information, he had submitted the application way before the petition was filed for the election. The house, the reason why it took so long is the house went through a foreclosure process. If anybody, I'm sorry, but I don't know if the other two council people have ever purchased a home or if they own a home in Cleveland now. But the problem is that it's a process, it's a tedious, long process. And if you're a homeowner who's been in jeopardy of losing your home, you understand this process. And a lot of people went through it. And I talked to the gentleman that owned the home that was losing it at the time when I was building and housing. It went for sale twice through the sheriff's sale. Nobody bought the home. It ended up in the land bank on the list of all the other properties. Nobody inquired. This young man who lives in the city wanted to buy that and raise it, fix it up and raise his family. Excuse me, Ms. Johnson, if you want the floor, you can talk. But right now I have it, okay? Please.
Yeah, but don't lie.
Well, no.
Look.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
Wait a
something.
minute, hold on. I just said to everybody we were going to be respectful. You cannot say somebody is lying. Because you don't, you gotta, let him speak, then you're being disrespectful to an individual that's trying to give you an explanation of something that was asked of you. Okay.
I agree.
Now, you ask him a question, we're discussing it, trying to give you an answer, and then you still want to browbeat. I don't think that's being fair and considerate. We can't do that to you. We have to stand up here and take your abuse because that's what we do. We are public officials, and when we took this job, we knew what was going to happen. And I'm ready for it. I don't have a problem with you browbeating me. But the council has a responsibility and is trying to do their job. And this one don't speak, but when he speaks, it's just like H.R. Hudson. Both of them. Let's move on. Just a little joke.
All I'm saying is, he went through, he dotted his I's and crossed his T's. He went through the process. Now, Johnny come lately wants to say, I'll pay $10,000, I'll pay $15,000, $20,000. He had every opportunity like he did. There was no special deal. He wasn't even on council. He wasn't even running at the time. But because of the process, it took him a long time for him to get it. He had to get an appraiser. Then they talk about the value. The appraiser is a certified appraiser that we have used in this city, in this county, in this state, and he even teaches at Hondro School. He's a certified black appraiser. Now, all of a sudden, we question him. One person questioned who the appraiser was. That's the same appraiser that did their house when they bought it. This makes no sense. We're fighting against ourselves all the time. When are we going to look and listen? We got somebody that wants to buy the house, fix it up, and raise his family. What's wrong with that? Oh, well, he won counsel. So now we're going to discriminate against him because he wanted to get involved because the process was so tedious. He wanted to get involved. I think it's time that we step up and let's start doing things the right way. It may feel wrong today because we're so used to doing wrong that we think it's right. But we need to do the right thing.
If there's no more discussion, we're ready for the vote. And I want to say this, that regardless of what takes place, this is a voting process, and once the vote is taken, that's it. Call the roll.
I have a question before you vote.
Okay, question.
You know what, we as council are supposed to be in a democratic society. We should be allowed to ask questions.
No, you asked a question.
Be quiet, AJ.
We got interruption, and I don't think the meeting is taking control. So I'll wait till the meeting is taking control.
Ms. Council, please. I'm not going to be disrespectful to you.
Okay, I just wanted to ask a question.
You cannot do that right now, okay? Your time to answer questions is at the end of the meeting. The time to discuss the beginning of the meeting was on agenda items only. Start the process again.
Council Baker,
Okay.
Council Martin,
Nay.
Council Wheeler,
Yeah.
Council Thomas.
Yay.
Okay, now this is termination.
The resolution has failed for a lack of vote. And I hope that puts this to a rest. It did not pass, and we're going to move on. Thank you.